In France, there are calls for calm as supporters gather in memory of a far-right activist who was killed last week. Quentin Deranque died after being beaten during a street brawl between nationalist and left-wing groups in the southern city of Lyon. His death has become a rallying cry for the French right, and authorities fear rival extremists could clash at today's Memorial March. Controversy surrounding the activist's death has also spread beyond France's borders.
France's National Assembly observes a minute's silence for Quentin Deranque. The 23-year-old nationalist activist was at a demonstration in Lyon against a visit by a politician from the far-left France Unbowed party when he was attacked by a group of suspected far-left protesters. He later died from head injuries in hospital. As the investigation continues, Deranque's death is fueling tensions between France's political factions. The head of France's far-right National Rally Party, Jordan Bardella, called for a cordon sanitaire on France Unbowed to remove it from the national parliament and from the ballots of upcoming municipal elections.
The left and the far left have crossed an unacceptable red line in our democracy. Respect for the opinions and physical integrity of their opponents.
France Unbowed rejects this.
Those who are exploiting this tragedy to smear us must stop. Their manoeuvres are despicable.
The heated debate about the incident is spilling over France's borders. At a summit in Delhi, President Emmanuel Macron was prompted to react to Conservative Italian leader Giorgia Meloni's comments that Deranque's death was a wound for all of Europe.
I'm always struck by those nationalists who don't want anyone else bothering them at home, that they're always the first to comment on what's happening elsewhere.
Deranque's killing has become a focus point of political discourse. The French government and left-wing groups denounce the violence, but are struggling to distance themselves from it.
Police say more than 3,000 people have turned out at the rally in Lyon. Let's turn to DW correspondent Lisa Louis in Paris. Lisa, what's the latest?
Well, it seems that so far the situation is calm. Mind you, there were hundreds of police officers, gendarmes, that were making sure that this was the case. We saw a few brawls between, the marchers and some left-wing activists, but the police was in between them, so, nothing major happened. But there is fear that major clashes could happen later tonight or throughout the night, and that's why many inhabitants, also shop owners, have barricaded up in Lyon.
Give us some perspective here. How big an issue is political violence in France?
Well, it seems to become a bigger issue over the years. Researchers have been saying that over the past 40 years or so, there have been about 60 deaths linked to political violence, most of them caused by far-right activists. But the number of incidents due to political violence over the past decade has gone up by about 50% compared to the 3 decades before. One researcher was telling me earlier that this was also because many people here in France didn't feel represented anymore by the political institutions. So instead of expressing their anger and their opinion through these political institutions, by voting, they then take to the streets, or it comes to these very violent altercations with consequences.
And Lisa, we should mention, this is all happening with key elections in context on the horizon. How will all this impact the upcoming municipal elections and the presidential election next year?
Well, this could indeed have a big impact, as we heard in the report earlier on. So, the six people charged linked to this case were part of an organization that is called the Young Guard, that was banned by the government last year, which has links, this organization has links to the far left party France Unbowed. And while that party has condemned the killing, they seem to refuse to condemn the Young Guard. The founding member, a founder of the Young Guard, is even a parliamentarian for LFI, for France Unbowed. And that leads to the fact that many other politicians are now rejecting France Unbowed and saying that they shouldn't behave like that. They're becoming the pariah, so to say. All this could then help the far left. The Rassemblement National, the national rally, they're obviously trying to bank on that. They also said, as we heard, that LFI, France Unbowed, should be banned from Parliament. So it could have an important impact on the upcoming elections, indeed.
That's DW correspondent Lisa Louis. Thank you so much, Lisa.